Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to another video. This week we are at the Kyoto driving circuit Yamagiwa Park. We will be driving this beautiful orange AMG GT3 race car which was recently added to the game as a part of the 1.32 updates. We are P2 on the grid. It's going to be a short race, around 5 laps long, so grid position matters a lot. Let's see how this race will unfold. So this car has like great straight line performance. As you can see, we immediately caught up with the leader, trying something coming up to the turn 1, but the leader dips 2 wheels onto the grass and loses a lot of time and a lot of speed, and all the guys behind us caught up to us. Actually, leader has lost quite a lot of positions, and I have lost P2 and I'm down into P3 right now. So this race has always been chaotic at the start. As you can see, there's another contact from the back. This is a race where all races are like that, but especially for this race, you need to stay away from trouble. If you stay away from trouble and put in consistent laps, you don't have to make that many overtakes. You don't have to fight too much for positions. So we are almost halfway down with the first lap. Coming up to the hairpin, we have a 1.2 second gap ahead of us, and we are behind the Seabass and Carlito. So this car is actually a pretty nice car. It's really decent. You can control the oversteer and understeer with the throttle inputs. The chassis is like really well balanced. The only thing I can say as a downside to this car is that the gears are like incredibly long. The gears are like incredibly long, especially the third and fourth gear. So in some corners, it feels like you are under the rev range, the optimal rev range of the car, and the gears are like just too long. As you can see, I was going 150 miles an hour or something, and I was only on the 5th gear. But it feels easier to drive, definitely easier to drive than the GR Supra racing concept, the 2018 car, which was already in the game. This definitely feels a lot easier to drive. So we have the former leader behind us, WRT Daniello, and we are half a second or 6 to 7 tenths behind the second guy, and we are throwing purple sectors, which is good, which gives something to worry about to the guys in front of us. After this hairpin, we will be rounding up lap 2. We had around a 2-second gap to the leader at the start of this lap. Now the gap is down to 1.5 seconds, and we scored the fastest lap of the race, which is always good to see. These 2 long left-handers at each side of the track are actually quite tricky to take, because you need to dip those inside wheels across the red and white part of the curb and onto the cement part of the curb. So you gotta really get close with the grass on the inside and not dip your wheels onto the grass. If you dip your wheels onto the grass, it's going to be a disaster. You will lose time and you will jeopardize your corner exit. We managed to keep a gap over 1.5 seconds to the former leader, and we are 4 tenths behind, so we are getting closer to P2. Maybe on the next lap we will be able to try something and take back our former P2 position. This corner was really tricky because the exits of this corner gets you onto the start-finish straight, and you really have to manage the oversteer. Even though that is a banked corner, if you step too early on the gas pedal, you can still get wheel spin and you can still drift wide out of that corner. Either you can spin out or lose time, lose crucial seconds at best. So coming up to this left-hander, we are around 3/10 behind P2, and he drifts wide. As you can see, he just dips 2 wheels across the grass, and we are side by side coming up to this triple chicane. We will outbrake him and take our position back. We got just more than a lap left to go, so all we have to do is to try to keep our position, not make mistakes, and if we can, try to catch up with the leader and overtake him. But I guess that's a long shot because he is around he has pulled around the 2-second gap to us. So we'll see what's gonna happen. The Porsche and the GR Supra were the cars of choice for this track, as far as I can see. But I drove the GR Supra around here in the practice sessions, and it just didn't feel planted enough for me, especially through these high-speed turns and on the long left-handers at each side of the track. I just couldn't I just didn't feel confident enough to take that car for a race, so I decided to give a chance to the new AMG car. So that's why we are driving the AMG. And you know what? This car turned great, actually. Other than having 2 long gears, this car feels amazing. You should try it if you haven't already. So unfortunately we weren't able to catch up with the guy in P1. He had over a 2-second gap coming up to the start-finish line on the last lap, but he suddenly disappears. I don't know, he probably has some major internet issues there, I think he just dropped out of the server. And at the end, one way or another, we were lucky this time and took the lead of the race on the very last seconds of the race, and we managed to win it. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and making up to the end of the video. I will see you in another one. Cheers!